What's going on?
All right. Is it a boy? Is a plane? No, it's Nazis. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Oh boy. So we are talking Red Dawn. This version, there are two versions. There's one that came out in 1984. Am I correct?
84.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this version came out in 2014 or 2015.
2012.
2012. Okay, I was off. Somewhere in that area. So yeah, man. I had forgotten how far back Chris Hemsworth went because I don't remember him being shit before Marvel. Yeah. And I'm just being completely honest. So I was kind of like, oh shit, hey, look at you, huh? Okay, they gave you guns before 2020. Okay, that's what's up. So I was definitely interested in getting into this. I guess that would have been my initial reaction because when you told me to watch this and I had to watch the trailer, that's the first thing I fucking said. So Eddie?
My initial impression, I was actually really excited about it because I loved the 1984 movie, so I was ready to just dive in with all kinds of nostalgia and enjoy it.
Okay. And Dad Panther?
Same thing. I kind of remember this about the time, like, I don't know, doing homework, TRL type of stuff. So yeah.
All right.
And
the Queen.
In my head, I was.
I'm gonna be like, no, you're not. Stop lying. So when it first came out in 2012, I was a little nervous because I was afraid, like, damn, did they do a good job? Because sometimes reboots don't always hit that mark.
90%.
So I was a little concerned. I was like, all right, I'm gonna give it a chance. I hope y'all didn't fuck this up. So that was my initial reaction to it.
So, all right, let's go around. Iris, matter of fact, would you like to lead the charge into review territory?
No.
Well, I'll start it.
I'm on blast now.
That's cool. I'll start. I mean, it's not like we're gonna spend a lot of time on this, but my highest for me was that they didn't waste any time getting into the action. I felt like they showed us, introduced the characters, and then after about 5-10 minutes, and we just got to it. So I was really appreciative of that. Another big high for me is that not everybody survives. You watch a movie like this, you expect certain people to just make it all the way through, and not everybody does. So I thought that was a big plus with the execution of the story. But then I have to go into my lows. Number one, I don't like Josh Peck for this character. I know that this was one of his bigger roles after he had lost the weight and everybody was excited to see him on a big screen, but he every time I saw him on screen, he took me out of it. I didn't believe him as his character. I just kept seeing Drake and Josh, and it just didn't work for me. I didn't feel like he was the right fit for the role. I also didn't like his love interest. I didn't think she hit that meter where you risk it all, and then. Anyway, I don't want to offend anybody. So also, I was bothered by the fact that that they kind of adapted to the situation too fast. I understand that Chris Hemsworth's character came back from being military, and all of a sudden, maybe him and his brother grew up with their dad hunting. So I get that, but everybody. The montage for the training was so fast, and I get it. You don't want to bore us. You want to hurry up and get to it because the situation is right there, so they don't really have time. So I wish that they would have just actually abandoned that instead of trying to stay so true to the 84 film. Change it up. Make these guys like hardcore woodsmen that's always out there hunting, using the terrain, and they're the last line of defense. Use the whole good old boy situation that we know. That's why we don't go out in the woods, because we know how they are out there. They put that in the movie. You know what I'm saying? And they missed an opportunity with that, and also with that being against an entire nation that had help from another nation. I really wish that they would have just really made them come to them and take advantage of the grounds or the mountains or whatever that they knew, the land that they knew, and use it against them instead of them coming out you know, and not getting swatted, which realistically would have happened. I mean, they could have just nuked the whole forest and whatever. But I get it. We weren't trying to be too realistic. They wanted to just embody the story and give us what we got, and it was cool. But it was also it was a little forgettable. You know, as I was watching it, I could have easily been doing something else while I was playing. I didn't feel like I couldn't turn away. So that's what I got.
Much respect. All right, Dad Panther.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that the highs was the pacing. I thought it had good pacing, like Lingo said. You know, 10 minutes or so when you're writing the action, you were trying to figure out what's going on. I thought it was something different. We don't get a lot of movies like this. I know we get war movies or whatnot, but a lot of them don't bring it here where it's human. It's always aliens or robots or something like that. So I thought it was something cool there. The parts where I thought was the bad or the areas, I mean, you can't improve on it, was it didn't seem believable. It was this ragtag A-team type of thing, and you just, as much as you want to enjoy it, with the Josh Peck, I understand, because I just see him as typecasted this way, and so I couldn't believe him to play football. I couldn't believe him to get, you know, right there alongside of his brother. So it wasn't, and it wasn't very impactful. I didn't leave the theater thinking anything. It was just like Lingo said, it's just something that could be playing in the background.
All right, Iris.
Of course. So I have to agree with both Eddie and Ron in regards to this. So my highs for sure was the movement of the movie. Like I like that they got to the action right away. I like that they gave you a little bit like just, you know, just kind of setting the scene for us, but then they got right into the action. I really really enjoyed that. Um and for my lows, other than Lord Jesus, Chris Hemsworth character, because I don't know, I guess from seeing him as Thor, other than his Love and Thunder crap that he made, um,
Mm.
I can see him as that action hero of, you know, being able to survive, do what he gotta do. The rest of the crew, I was like, in real life, all y'all motherfuckers would die. You know, like survival of the fittest. Ain't none of you ragtag children are surviving. What the fuck ever. So um I think that would be my only low for the movie. Like a lot of the characters, especially Josh Peck, because I love him and Drake and Josh. And even for me, his character, even though he lost all that weight, he still just looks like the comical guy. He just looks like he would be the funny guy in the movie. So for them to try to make him more of like, you know, he's an athlete, you know, I couldn't roll with the punches with it. Um uh Eddie, I know you didn't want to say it, but the girlfriend was garbage. I don't give a shit about hurting nobody feelings. Girlfriend was
Wait a
garbage.
minute. Why is Eddie trying to save the girlfriend? What's going on with that?
Exactly. He was like, I don't want
I
to hurt
didn't like
nobody
her. I didn't
feelings.
think she was worth it. I didn't like what they
Yeah, she
cast.
wasn't. She's garbage.
You- oh,
Gabbage.
wow.
Fucking gabbage.
Wow.
So so those were at least my highs and lows for the movie.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, dear.
No, you're all good. That's really all I really had to share about the movie because I think, you know, other than the action itself, the writing, the pace of the movie, they were, you know, it was all right. But the actors themselves, it was just so hard to really believe like in a situation like that, people would just, you know, these kids would just step up and be like, all right, we got this. Like, no, shut the fuck up. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Mm.
So,
That was aggressive. All right.
well,
So
guess what?
shout out to you. All right. So hold on. Do I have the is this okay, cool. So this film I define as action by numbers. Story by numbers, meaning that Hollywood has their you're going to do a film and you need to do this and you need to do this and you need to do this and you guys to do this, and then you can be risque and do this, but that's not risky. You got it on a checklist of stuff that we've done for 15 films. But anyway, Chris Hemsworth displayed the same acting capability he did in Thor 1. Meaning flat. Most characters subsequently flat. So the next thing I will say is, so we talked about the script, generic. We talked about the acting, generic, because I'm not trying to give away anything, because if you're interested in watching the film, here's the bad part, because those were the good parts. The bad part is I saw Civil War before I saw this, because I never saw this in 2000, whenever it came out. So then you can't help but compare the two together. And then you go, wow, there was so much here. And I'm watching this one going, this had potential, because if this had been done right, 2012, the whole world would have stopped to be like, yo, look at this original piece of content. Yo, these guys are onto something. And then they would still be like, Iris, it'll never happen. But it's a good fable for us to kind of dwell in. Mm-hmm. When you see how one film approaches a similar topic, you know what I mean? You're like, man, you see, wow, you really lost here. You could have done this here. You really do spend a lot of the film going, well, why couldn't you have just done this? Or why couldn't we have switched and gone this direction? Or this would have made, or instead of the children just being badasses, I feel like it could have been a part of character development to earn the courage, or, more earn the place. But I don't want to get down, once again, not trying to go down a rabbit hole, but I didn't like it. And I'm trying to find colorful words, more, I don't have any, because this film didn't have any. It just didn't. So subsequently, I give up the same way they gave up around the third act. So anyway, let's go to my favorite part. What's your rating? Is it a classic? Is it a good watch? Is it a catch on streaming? Is it not doing for me? Is it a or if you ever show me this ever again, I will you. All right. So Queen, would you like to go first?
Of course.
All right,
go
ahead.
She was gonna say no again.
Yeah, right.
So for this one, I would have to say it's not doing it for me. It's
okay.
Not.
I respect that. Dad Panther.
It's not catch it on streaming.
Okay. Okay. So it has redeeming qualities for you.
Yeah, I think if you've never seen the movie, you'll enjoy it. You'll like what you're looking at. But again, if you're seeing other movies, or you're looking at that 1984, it wants to be Top Gun, and it's not.
I wouldn't say all that now.
I mean, but Top Gun did drop in 84, right? I think that's the reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just couldn't live up to that box office success.
Okay.
Huh?
Exactly. But let's just let them have it. Whatever.
I'm trying not to let my emotions well up, because Top Gun is like up there for me, bro. So like for you be like, oh, it was never trying to be Top Gun. There's no way ever that this would ever be in the stratosphere of Top Gun, my guy. Sorry, I'm not doing it. Eddie, what's your review?
I'm gonna have to go with not doing it for me. I know they was bound to the 84 script. I wish they would have broken away from it, like just take the premise and did something new with it. So I forgive them for sticking to it, because most times people don't stick to the original content. But also in the same vein, like you gotta touch stuff up. You gotta try new things with it, and they didn't. So not doing it for me.
For me, I haven't been able to use this in a long time, but
oh
thank you. Those those exquisite vocal cords.